Well, it's time to go live on Wednesday morning for Coffee with Kathy. How's everyone doing this morning? I hope it's finds you well. This morning we're going to work on split, spin, and echo. And we are going to be looking at 3 different templates. 2 of them are very similar, one is very different. So let's take a look at where we're going with this. First one we're going to look at is spin and echo number 14. Now this one is a little sharper than the other 2. And yet it still allows you to do all the fun things that the other 2 allow you to. So we are going to work on the pin. And what we have with spin and echo is over here. I'm going to bring you. You'll notice that the center pin goes 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These are different widths of the entire design. Now, it doesn't mean that it's going to be different. If you change and only come to here, your measurement is going to be totally different. So you will want to take into account the size of your block. Then you're going to want to draw this out on paper to make sure that it's going to fit your block well. One thing that this really helps with, if you have thick seams in the center of your block and you use the spin and echo, you're going to miss that center. So it really does help a lot. And the ones we showed last night were very similar in that they helped you avoid that center as well. And what was it we showed you last night? Oh, the spinning wheels 1 and 2, yeah. So these are some that really help when you're doing a lot of piecing. The next one we're going to review is going to be spin and echo 16. And again, this one too has the different sizes. And you'll see how it's a lot more rounded compared to the 14. And the 17 is very 16, other than it's going to make this flattened loop around the top. Again, you have several different sizes that you can choose from. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to start 14, but let's see who's here first, okay? Oh, goodness. Okay. Good morning, Linda. Okay, hang on, guys. Let me change. I need to go to my settings. And let's go to this one. Okay. How is the audio on this particular microphone compared to the other two that I already tried? Okay, good. It sounds better. What's really irritating is I spent a lot of money for those microphones and I've had problems with them. I'm going to have somebody look at them. Good. Sound is better. Good. All right. I keep trying, guys. Oh, Monica's here. Good morning, Monica. Good to see you. Pam made it in from Maine. And Kathy notes it is the same sound problem as the other day. I just don't get it because some days it works great and other days it doesn't want to work hardly at all. Don't understand it. Good morning, Elizabeth, Patricia. Lois is here. Lee from Spencerville is here. Joey, did I say good morning to you? I don't know if I have yet. Okay, we got it now. All right. Well, let's go ahead and start with our spin and echo 14. I'm going to go ahead and pull you in a little bit more here. I've already put the tack on. I've got 16 reference lines here. I probably am going to use 16 reference lines here. And I'm going to tell you why, because this is narrow. As you'll see, this one is much wider. You can still use 16 rotations, but using 8 rotations will work as well. Now, I'm not really sure how well 8 rotations is going to work on here. It would be very tight, okay? Because what I'm seeing here is we don't quite have a 1/4 of an inch on either side of that. Let me get my spacing gauge out here just to prove to myself that I am talking about it. So what we're going to do is we are going to start with our center on reference line 1. Okay. And I'm going to get some arrows out because I want to point the arrow where I'm starting and stopping so I don't confuse myself. Because as we know, I get confused enough without confusing myself as well, right? Okay, so here we go. I'm going to stop here. Now what I want to do is I want to stop straight across there. And the best way that I have found to make sure that I do is to take a ruler, lay it on here. Let's get it off the tack first. Lay it on here. Line up the vertical and horizontal line here. Once you've got those both marked, lined up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my second sticker and put it right there. If I can make it stay there. Let's try this again, guys. Okay, there we go. And there we go. Now the sticker's in place, I believe. Let me double check it. No, it's not. It's up just a little too high. There we go. Now we got it. Okay. So now it doesn't matter what one we go on. If we go on the 12-inch, it's going to give us a 12-inch design. If we go on the 11-inch, it's going to give us 11-inch design. Let's start off with, the small one. Let's start off with 8 inches. Okay. Oh, goodness. There we go. So I'm going to stitch from arrow to arrow, and then I'm going to turn. Okay. And where I'm going to stitch, we're going to start on rotation 1. Now, directions. I do want you to see these. It does does tell us that we can use either 32, 16 crosshairs for an 8-line rotation. And that is what we've got here. So I'm going to come between the two. Start here. Pull my thread up here. It would be easier if I had 32 rotations marked. Okay. And pull my thread back. And off we're going to go. My one stitch in place. And pump around. And stop. Needle down. You guys, something is just not quite right. We're going to end up a little too far over on this. And no, I guess we're not. Okay. We've got the middle lined up. And around we're going to come. And we've got everything lined up. And we're going to stop here. Now we're lining up our center line. And coming up here. And stop. I'm just going to go halfway. And around here. And up here. And we're going to stop at the next one. Make sure that I'm in. There we go. I'm going to stop at the center line here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and break thread, and I'm going to move myself up. Now, one part of this math that I have never understood. Where did my, oh, there it is. There we go. Okay. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and move our tack down. And you'll see how beautiful this stitches out. Okay. What part kind of gets to me is that right here, you'll see that the middle is between these two reference lines. On the next rotation, the middle is on the reference line. So what that tells me is I need to put 32 lines in here instead of 16. And that's my bad. Okay. However, what's really cool about it is you can still do it, even though you only have 16, because what you're going to do is you're going to be able to tell exactly where your center is between the two 16 rotation lines because it's close enough. Okay. And by the way, guys, today is my first day without caffeine. Please be nice to me. Okay, so I'm going to keep the same arrows. I'm just moving my template up. So let's go ahead and let's stitch this second one out. And let's take a look at how that's going to look. One on top of the other. Well, goodness. There we go. There we go. Okay. And we're going to mimic what we did on the first rotation. And stop at our arrow. And we are going to, oh, we need to come up a couple more stitches here, guys. There we go. Okay, it's not quite exactly where I want it, so I'm going to come up a couple more stitches yet. Because it is lined up correctly, but you'll see I can get another stitch or two closer, and that's going to bring it almost, but one more stitch. There we go. There we go. Oh, I really got that one off. Okay. I'll come up a little higher in here. Right there. And this is, okay, guys, I need the 32 point crosshair on here. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some more in on this side, which will only take a second. Sadly, it says here 16 crosshair reference lines for an 8 rotation spin and echo. Okay, so here's 16. So if I want to spin this 8 times, here's 1, here is 2, here is 3, here is 4. This should, in theory, this should work, right? Let's put it up on 10 and see what happens. Okay, on 10, it's not, on 10 inches, it's not going to work on that. Oh, wait, let me try and move it over this way. So if I move it on 1, it's definitely not going to work. So I need the 32. Okay, and let me get this out here. I'm sorry, guys. I read the instructions, but I didn't play with it. Okay, so now we're going to twist this. And that is a 16. Yeah, 16 point crosshair ruler. Oh, goodness. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to do here. Okay, so here's the 32. Remember, we need to pull these out when we're dealing with a larger template like this. Sometimes just drawing out the reference lines takes longer than anything else. Okay, we're going to start on 8 on this one. Okay. And this will be 1. But I'm not going to start on 1. I'm going to start on even numbers. The first one I'm only going to do half. Okay. So my half here is where do I want to go up here and where do I want to end? And that's halfway right there. So I'm going to come up. Now I'm confusing myself, guys. Let's turn this. And I do line up here. This would be the second rotation. I skipped 1 reference line. Stop right there. Pull it out. Skip 1. And this should be my center one. Does it work? Well, I guess I just wasn't far enough. I'm sorry. It works. Operator error there. And we're going to stop right there. And it lines up on the halfway mark. We come around and up again. And it stops there. And again, we're lined up on the halfway mark. So this is going to give us 8 inches of design. Stop here. We'll come around, and this is going to bring us back to that halfway mark. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and go up a couple of stitches here. And let's see what happens now when we go on the number 9. I'm going to stitch back down. Okay, up we're going to come. I'm just going the opposite direction this time. Come up. Come around. Okay. There we go. I'm lined up on my center line here. If you have to do any adjusting, there's a real good spot right there to do it. And no one will be the wiser. And then we're going to line back up and we're going to keep going. So this is the idea, okay? So what I'm seeing here is that we need 32 reference lines to stitch 16 rotations. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that really is 8 rotations. We're going to come back to this one. We will come back to that one after I have some time to really figure it out. It drew out fine on paper, but now it's not dried and it's not stitching out the same way it drew out. So let's move on to the other ones rather than take up all your time this morning looking at that, okay? And what I'll do is we'll do that one again next week. Di, good morning, Lisa. Okay. You know, Carla, I think you're right. Using 2 different colors, I think this is a great idea. Carla says if you could use 2 different colors to mark reference lines, as white for the even lines and blue for the odd lines, I know that's what you meant. It would make more sense. And I think you're right. I think it would make more sense. Okay. Let's look at number 16. Whoops, I got 17 out here. Okay. So here's our center line. And what we can do is we can go from here to here. Let me get my stitching line discs out. Okay. This is my center line. So if I want to, I can go from here to here. Okay. Then I can turn it. Mark 16, cross that reference line for 8 rotations, spin and echo, 32 to 36. Okay, so I've got 16. Here we go. Oh, guys, I know what I'm doing wrong. I need to go this way so that I meet up here and then come down again. Then I have to go this way. I'm turning the template in the wrong direction. Can you believe it? It's something that easy. That's simple. Boy, it's those easy things that'll get you every time, won't it? Whoops, I just broke my pencil. I want to go to the right, but we have to go to the left. So let's go ahead and stitch this out, okay? Told you, no, my first day with no caffeine. Not going well, is it? Ay. Okay. So I'm going to come around up to here. Then I'm going to move my template to the left. Let's see how that's going to work. Okay. Again, we're just going to do half of the block. I've got my line lined up. I've got it on 9. We come down and around. And come back up. And stop. Trim the threads. Turn my template. And I'm going to come down. Okay, so now if you need to make any adjustments or want to make any adjustments, this is the place to do it. I'm just going to turn that over a little bit. Up to the top, needle down, turn my template, and I'm going to come down. My center is off by maybe one stitch. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and take that stitch. And come around. Okay. Oh, I kind of made a wiggle wobble there. Not a problem. Okay, so that's my first time around. I'm going to take this out. That looks awesome. Okay, so we'll have 1, 2, 3 of them over on this side. So now that was on number 10. So let's pull ourselves back. Oh, no, that was number 9. Let's push ourselves forward to number 10, okay? Going to be a lot of crossing over here, but that's okay. Again, I'm starting with my center line on the center here. We're going to do. And we're going to stop right where on top of the tip of the previous rotation. And that's going to be right there. Good. Got it. And get rid of some thread here. Let me move that off. And this one comes out a little further. Not that much. I didn't go far enough. I should have done one more stitch here, guys. And I'm going to move it that way. There we go. And we're going to come over this way. There we go. So what you're seeing is, again, secondary designs coming in with this. which is really kind of cool. And you can just keep going and go out further and further and further. And it's going to keep giving you those lines. Let's see. Yes, Carla, okay. Carla did have this really good idea for the different color reference lines, and I agree with her. I think that would be very helpful. Lee says no caffeine. Good luck. Yeah, I know, Lee. And I've been up since 3 o'clock. So what does that tell you? My brain is already scrambled. Donna says, put an arrow on the template to remind you to go left. That's a good plan, Donna. I think I will do that. And she also said, I don't see a stopping point at the top of the template, is there? And you know what? There really is not. And I think that may be one of the things that is going to stop us from really being able to stitch this out. Because if you look, okay, well, if you look at the 16, it's really only meant to be one round of stitching. And I'm trying to do more than that on there. One round of stitching would be absolutely fine. Okay. And these instructions are very good. They're just not showing the template that we're working on here. So the question that we will have is, how far up do we go? Okay. If we're out here on number 11, we put that in. That to me is easier than doing it back on number 9, because what you'll see is this does not come out to the tip. Oh, Don, I'm going to take your, okay. We won't be able to stitch out to this line and this line. But if we put it on 11, we have a clear cut. Whoops, there we go. We have a clear cut stopping point. We will hit the line here, well, here and there. Okay, which will make more sense. Let's go ahead and stitch that out. Sometimes for myself, I'm not speaking for anyone else, I have to really talk it through to understand exactly what I am doing here, okay? And this is one of them. You see where I put my little dots here? I'm lined up on the center line. So I'm going to come all the way around. And all the way to the top, which is going to be my next reference line. Whoops, didn't mean to. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to take that out. That was on line number 10, I believe, or 11. Let me double check. Now, if we do, get my needle, my pin down there. Okay. So that was number 11. Now, number 12 gives us the same opportunity. And that is starting on one line And we're going to stitch over to the other line, making sure we keep that center centered. So now in a perfect world, what's going to happen? There we go. I've made it to my next line. Now, in a perfect world, what's going to happen is I'm going to be able to turn this either to the right or to the left, guys. It should be good. Oh, no, it has to be to the left. I'm sorry. Okay, I should be able to turn it to the left, and my stopping point should be the same place on the template on the right side as it is the left side. And it looks like it's pretty close. That makes it even closer. Okay, there we go. And come down, and we're going to stop when we hit the reference line. So you see what's going on here now? Now we're getting it just fine. Okay. And around to that reference point. Okay. What I want to do is, oh, that was 12. I was going to say, let me see what 10 is going to do for us. I would say with 10, we need to have 32 lines drawn out. 32 lines will give us the extra line to come down here halfway between these two and halfway between those two. So that's what we are doing. With 11 or 12, we can do it with 16 lines. With 9 or 10, we're going to want 32 lines. Okay. This template is made to go around one time. Obviously, you can put it around twice, but you would want to do it on 11 and 12, and then on 8 and 9 with 32 reference lines drawn in. Okay, you see it gives you this nice oval type shape between the lines. Okay. Hi, Kathy. Yeah, it is pretty. It is Linda. Let's see what Lee has to say. I have a spin and echo sampler set found. Can I get the same design when I change sizes? I don't understand that. Oh, yeah. These are a little tricky. I think these are just a little trickier than the other templates we normally work on. Okay, Lee says maybe not having enough reference lines messed me up. And I think that's what messed me up this morning too. Going in the wrong direction, no caffeine and not enough reference lines. I'll set up for a morning start, huh? Oh, Lee, I'm right there with you. Okay, so I'll take another drink of my water. And I am going to get a fresh grilled sandwich out here, okay? Because I think we've put enough stuff on this one. We won't be able to see what we're doing. And here we go. I have tons of them pre-made. Yeah, just the nature of the beast, I guess. Okay, that way if anybody asks me a question, I'm somewhat prepared anyway. All right. So on this one now, this is Spin and Echo 17. I'm going to put that one over there. Spin and Echo 17 is a big guy. And what it looks like is we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we're going to do 8 times around. But do we need 16 lines to do it? Mark 16 crosshair references for an 8 rotation spin and echo. Okay, we're not going to do 32 today, guys. My brain just won't comprehend that. All righty. So here we go. And out we go. Oh, lost my pencil lead. There we go. Lost it again. For what these leads cost, I don't like breaking them, that's for sure. Okay, now I'll go ahead and darken those in and extend some of them out a little bit here. Now at least I can see what I'm doing, right? And again, I'll make half of it. This I might as well make all of it because it looks like we're going to need the whole thing to do what we need to do. And it really doesn't take that long to draw out your reference lines and get ready to do what needs to be done. All right. And one more, guys, and we got it. There we are. Okay. We have 16 reference lines. What I'm going to do now is I am going to put a tack in the center. I always like to go from the right side to the back side. And then from the back side to the right side. Oh, hello. I lost it. Just like that. And now I found it. There we go. Right in the center. Okay. So let's take a look at this guy. And if we put this on the center, what's going to happen is we're going to come all the way out and stop here. And then we're going to turn and come all the way around and stop here. Okay? So we want to start on one side to the other. This one does not matter if you go to the left or to the right. You're going to stop on a line, and you're going to start on a line, and you're going to end on a line. I have this down to 6 inches. Okay. So let's do a rotation at 6 inches. I'm going from right to left. There we go. for stitch in place. Now this one you're going to notice is a lot flatter and wider than the other two we looked at already. Going to come around and back up and stop at the line. Okay, this is very clear cut. It has to be at the line. Now I'm going to go ahead and snip these threads and get those out of the way. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and move that template. There we go. And we're going to come out and around. And we're going to stop with our needle down. And we're going to turn it. And here we go again. And one more time. Whoops, went too far that time. We want that center line up. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and break thread. And we're doing this because I want to show you what's going to happen here. At this point, we have 4 rotations, correct? So if we want to put 4 more, we want this portion to be here, 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 and here. And that's easy to do. What we're going to do is now we're going to go ahead and put our template back on with our center coming through the middle of these guys that we just made, okay? Now, that one we sewed from the right to the left. Let's stitch this one from the left to the right because we can do that as well, okay? Put it down in there. And there we go. Now remember, this isn't going to look exactly like the one on the front cover because we're doing it in 2 rotations. And stop with that needle down. And now I'm going to turn this so that I am again lined up on the line. And stopping at the line. And rotate again. There we go. And we're going to stop at the line. And here we go. Our last one. And around we go. And again, we're going to stop at that. Stop when we close up that loop on top. And here is what we get when we do the 8 rotations with the number 6 on the, I'm sorry, on the number 6 pin. Okay. Now let's see. Oh, Jean's here. Welcome. um, Donna says, blame it on the caffeine. Now she's finishing up her second cup. Well, looks like tornadoes. Not loving this one, Donna said. You know, we're all going to like some, we're not going to like some. So, you know, Linda likes this one. Yeah, it's a personal preference. It really is. Now, what will happen if we change? That was on 6. Let's put it on 9. Now, what I'm saying, if we put it on 9, is that we don't have a line to stop on. But on 12, we do. So let's go ahead and put it on 12 and see what happens with that, okay? And again, I'll go from left to right. I want to try an experiment here, guys. So I'm going to start at the top here. I'm going to stop at this line. Then I'm going to move this. Let's try that this way. I'm going to keep my center on my center line. And what I want to do is I want to start at the bottom and come up. I don't know why. It's just me. Just me being me. Okay, come on, tack. Oh, darn. My tack fell out. At least it's not anywhere where I'm going to step on it or sit on it this time. I hate when that happens. Okay, there we go. Here we are. And we said number 12. I'm going to come here on this line, the bottom line. Pull my bobbin thread up. There we go. Stop on the line. Now I'm going to grab these threads and remove them. Hopefully, there we go. I like to get those guys out of the way. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn my template, lining my center up again. Pull around to the top and stop at the line. with my needle down and turn it. Lining up my center line this time. All the way around. Go to the top. Stop on the line. And turn it. You'll notice I'm not keeping my stitches really short, am I? And coming around here. Up to the top. Stop with my needle in. And we're going to get eight rotations out of here doing it this way. And lining that center line up again. And I think we've just got two more to do. There we go. And we're going to bring ourselves right back to where we started. Okay, so this gives us 8 rotations. Okay, the 8 rotations, that looks exactly like this. So now, what if we wanted to put 16 in there? In order to put 16 in there, we would have to have our center here. And we're going to come over here and stitch up to this line. But we need to get to the center first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to travel to the right. Okay, there we go. Come around and up. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn. I'm going to rotate. And this is going to give us another 8 rotations of that template to make it look a little fuller. It's also going to give us some real interesting connection points here. It's going to look close to a triangle shape. Okay, and then now we're gonna go. Okay, and I'll just do a couple more so you get the idea of what I'm doing here. I'm doing exactly what we did on the first go round. The only difference is I swapped out the odd numbered reference lines or the even numbered reference lines. Oh, let's make sure that needle is down. And there we go. Take the template off. Whoops, got my cord caught here. And that is 16 rotations. This is 8 over here. This is 16 over here. This is 16 on a smaller scale. So what we've learned is we need to definitely work within our ruler's confines, and we need to figure out what those are before we even start stitching, okay? The stitching plan is really important. Play it out on paper first. I thought I had it, but when I sat down to my machine, it looked totally different. I don't know, but it looks good and it works. And I think I like this one a lot. I like this one too, but I like that inside one a lot. Okay. Oh, we've got, yeah, everybody has their likes and their dislikes, and that's absolutely fine. Not concerned at all about it. Buy the ones you like, leave the ones you don't. That's kind of how it works. Like in my house, eat the asparagus if you want. If you don't take it. That's all. So that's what we've got this morning. And I believe that this ends my week. Yep, it does. Other than vet appointments, doctor appointments, all kinds of fun stuff like that. Going to pick up prescriptions. Carla's just not sure about these. And it's okay, Carla. You don't have to be, Play around in your mind a little bit and go from there. You're very welcome, Lee, Debbie. Awesome to have you guys here. Do very much appreciate you spending a part of your day with me. Don't forget, we are on 906 Quilting YouTube channel, as well as the So Steady YouTube channel. And don't forget to go like, subscribe, and share. And subscribing is really important. And I really would like to get to a few more people on my YouTube channel. Of course, that's just me. Lee, thank you so much. I do that means a lot to me. It really does. And you guys are also welcome. So next week I will not be here on Monday next week. Donnell's going to be here, but I'll be here on Tuesday and I will be here on Wednesday morning. So until we meet again, let's quilt.